I raised my nephew as my own. Now my niece is jealous and things are getting messy. I'm 42 and I've been raising my nephew Alex as my own son since the day he was born. He's 17 now, smart, driven, and honestly one of the best things that ever happened to me. But his biological mom, my sister Lena, let's just say she wanted nothing to do with him. Here's the backstory. Lena had Alex when she was 19. His dad bailed the moment she told him she was pregnant, and Lena decided motherhood wasn't for her. She didn't want to ruin her life, as she put it, and even talked about putting Alex up for adoption. I couldn't stand by and let that happen. I was already in a good place financially, and though I wasn't planning on becoming a parent at 25, I stepped up. I became Alex's dad in every way that matters, and Lena didn't fight me on it. Honestly, she seemed relieved. Fast forward 17 years, I gave Alex everything I could. Stability, love, opportunities. He's a great kid with a bright future ahead of him. Meanwhile, Lena built a new life. She has a husband now and a 14-year-old daughter, Katya. But their situation is tough. They live paycheck to paycheck, struggling to make ends meet. It's a stark contrast to the life Alex has had with me. The real trouble started a few months ago when Lena decided Alex should know his real family. I didn't stop her. Alex is old enough to make his own decisions about that. But ever since Katya met him, things have gotten complicated. Katya is not subtle about her jealousy. She's constantly comparing herself to Alex. Why does he have everything and we have nothing? She asked me outright one day. And by everything, she means the nice car I bought him, the trips we've taken, and the fact that he's planning to attend a top-tier university. She's even accused me of loving Alex more than her. We're family too, she said. Why don't you care about us? I tried to explain the situation gently, but how do you explain to a 14-year-old that her mom basically handed her brother over and never looked back? That I've spent the last 17 years raising him while Lena built a life without him? It's not Alex's fault that his life turned out so differently, but Katya doesn't see it that way. To her, it's just unfair. Lena, for her part, hasn't exactly helped. She started dropping hints that I should do more for Katya, help with her school expenses, buy her nicer things, maybe even set aside some money for her future. It feels like she's trying to guilt-trip me into taking responsibility for her choices, and I'm not okay with that. But at the same time, Katya's a kid. None of this is her fault. She didn't ask to be born into a struggling family, or to grow up watching her brother live a life she can only dream of. I feel for her. I really do. But where do I draw the line? How much am I supposed to give before it starts taking away from Alex? And Alex, he's caught in the middle. He's polite to Lena and Katya, but I can tell it makes him uncomfortable. He's starting to feel guilty for having what they don't, and that's the last thing I want. He's worked hard for everything he's achieved, and he shouldn't feel bad for the life I've built for him. So now I'm stuck. Do I just ignore Lena and Katya and focus on Alex? Do I try to help Katya, knowing it might open a Pandora's box of expectations? Or am I overthinking this whole thing? Reddit, I need your advice. How do I navigate this without ruining everything? Alright, let me pick up where I left off. A couple of weeks ago, things hit a boiling point. Lena invited Alex and me over for dinner. I thought it was her way of trying to mend things, or at least make an effort to build a better relationship with Alex. Boy, was I wrong. The night started off fine. Small talk, Katya staring daggers at Alex across the table, while Lena played the overly sweet hostess. But as soon as dessert was served, the guilt trip started. Lena started talking about how hard things have been for Katya, how she's struggling in school because they can't afford extra tutoring, and how she wishes she could give Katya even half of what Alex has. I was polite, trying to redirect the conversation, but then Katya chimed in. "It's not fair," she said, looking directly at me. You're always helping him, but you don't care about me. Aren't I family too? Before I could even respond, Lena dropped the bomb. You know, she said, it wouldn't hurt you to help Katya out a little. Maybe pay for her tutoring, or set her up with a little college fund. You've done so much for Alex, it's only fair to think about her too. Fair. That word has been stuck in my head ever since. Fair to who? To Katya, who's stuck in a situation she didn't choose? To Lena, who abandoned Alex but now thinks I owe her for raising her daughter? Or to Alex, who's worked so hard and is now being made to feel guilty for his success? I looked at Lena, trying to keep my cool. With all due respect, I said, I've spent the last 17 years giving Alex the life he deserves because you didn't want to. That was your choice, not mine. I'm sorry Katya is struggling, but it's not my responsibility to fix your mistakes. Lena's face went pale, Katya started crying, and Alex just looked at me, wide-eyed. I don't think he expected me to be so blunt. Honestly, neither did I. We left shortly after, and the car ride home was awkward. Alex finally broke the silence. You didn't have to say it like that, he said quietly. She's my sister, you know. I don't want her to hate me. That hit me hard. Alex is a good kid, better than me, probably. He's trying to see the best in people, even Lena and Katya, despite everything. I don't want to discourage that, but at the same time, I can't let them manipulate him. I told him, you're right, I could have handled it better. But it's not your job to make up for their struggles. You've earned everything you have, and I won't let anyone make you feel otherwise. He nodded, but I could tell it still bothered him. The fallout has been messy. Lena hasn't spoken to me since that night, though I've heard through family that she's telling everyone I'm selfish and ungrateful for all she sacrificed. Katya sent Alex a message on social media, basically accusing him of being spoiled and saying he doesn't deserve any of what he has. Alex didn't reply, but I know it's eating at him. I'm torn. Part of me feels like I should have just walked away that night, let Lena say her piece without confronting her. But the other part of me knows this isn't going away. Lena won't stop pushing, Katya won't stop comparing, and Alex is stuck in the middle of a situation he never asked for. So now I'm trying to figure out the next step. Do I set stricter boundaries with Lena and Katya? Do I try to mend things for Alex's sake? Or do I just let this whole mess play out and focus on protecting Alex from the fallout? What would you do if you were in my shoes?